Yo guys, what's going on? Welcome to my home studio, and today, as I told you in my last video, I'm gonna be going through some basic features and some of the technicalities of the new Pentax 17. The Pentax 17 is a 35mm half frame camera just released by Pentax, and I want to take you through it to show you how to load it and explain to you a little bit of the functionalities of each one of the buttons of the camera. All right, let's go to the bench.
Well, welcome to my bench, and this is the beautiful Pentax 17. Let's examine a little bit the body. That's the front, this is the back. And now let's get into the battery chamber. You will need a coin or a screwdriver like I did here. Get that little screw out. Be careful not to lose it. Pretty easy to lose. And now let's get the lid out. You can see the battery uses is a CR2 battery, like most late 2000 and even modern cameras that has one-use batteries. To put it back with a hinge and you screw back the little screw. Now let's check out the lens. The lens is inspired in the Pentax SPO Mini with brand new coatings. It has an aperture of f3.5 and 25mm, which is like 37 equivalent of full frame, which is really cool. Then it has a focusing scale down on meters and feet. At the top you have basically the guide for focusing depending on the scene. You can also see what you're focusing on through the viewfinder, which is cool, and your little flash in the front. More on that later. Now the ISO dial goes all the way from 50 to 3200, which is the most commonly found film speeds, and that's the guide for you to know that in which speeds do you have it. And let's go to exposure and compensation. You have -2 to +2 stops for you to adjust your exposure depending on what you want. The viewfinder is nice and bright. You got guides for when focusing at far and very close. Now let's go to the programs. You have 7 different automatic modes, fully automatic, 2 program modes, one with flash, one without. Then you have the bokeh mode, which prioritizes the aperture over the shutter speed, and bulb, which will basically allow you to have the shutter open as long as you need for long exposures. All of these are really useful depending on the scenario you're taking the photos in. And then you have the switch on and off button. Yeah, then the famous winding mechanism, which is actually really smooth, really nice. And you have the little LED lights that indicate you that the flash is charging, that the flash is fully charged, and different type of things the camera wants to communicate to you. Like for example, if the scene is too bright or too dark, or if you haven't wound your film, like you can see there right now. That will cover all the basic functions. Now let's get it loaded. First, lift the film key, rewind, open the back door. You can see the nice and easy loading mechanism. Grab the film of your choice. In this case, I'm loading Ilford Ortho 80, which is really nice film. Absolutely love it. Then grab the film leather, stretch it to the other side, and there is like a really grippy rubber on the cylinder that will just basically pull the film in. Then wind it a couple of times and you're basically ready to go. It's a pretty easy to load camera, to be honest with you. I wish the finish was the same in the front and the back, but I mean, not a deal breaker. Top and bottom plates are made out of magnesium alloy, and the rest of the camera is really hard plastic.
I hope you enjoyed that little introduction of the Pentax 17 camera. Now I want to tell you a little bit of my opinion of where does this camera stand and who is it for and what does this mean for the film photography community. The Pentax 17 is a camera that was aimed for the newcomers to the film photography world, yeah? It should primarily focus on vertical orientation. It's meant to be a social media first sharing camera. That's why the guys at Pentax designed it on a vertical viewfinder. Having pretty much all fully automatic modes is another indicator that this camera was definitely designed for beginners in mind. In my opinion, it's a camera that is also good as a daily carry, that you can take tons of photos without thinking too much about it, without being too technical about your film photography. And that's another reason of why I am saying that this camera was meant for beginners and not a simple refillable point and shoot. Do I think it's worth buying this camera? Well, this depends on you. If you're a hardcore shooter that wants maximum surface area of your film, that are used to shooting a half frame and you're very slow at your practice, or if you're very technical with your film photography, this is definitely not a camera that is aimed for you. Whereas if you're entering in the world of film photography and want to buy something that is brand new, that is gonna come out the box and let you go and take photos, and you are 100% sure that the camera is gonna work the way it's meant to work. If you want a premium sort of daily carry around camera that you don't have to buff about or think too much about, and you just wanna capture your daily moments, then definitely it is worth the investment. I'm really surprised by the images this camera renders and how the lens and the camera works together to render really sharp images on a half frame format. I will add some samples here of images that I managed to take while I was testing this camera. And yeah, in my opinion, this camera for the film community, it means that there are more players coming into the market to serve an audience that at some point was believed to be gone, you know. Film photography had like the darkest years 10 years ago, where nobody pretty much, except for a few people, was shooting film. Now we're having this film resurgence where all the prices of films were climbing. There was a lack of availability on films and on cameras, and now we see players coming into the market and serving that need of everybody that wants to shoot film. We have seen Kodak hiring technicians and investing a lot in producing new films. We have seen Harman Technology coming up with the first ever produced color film in I don't know how many years, which is something incredible. So we have new film being manufactured. We have also top of the range players like Leica that are obviously bringing their M6, their brand new M6s, which means, yeah, there is definitely market for that high-end film users. But then it's also players like this that come on a medium range sort of projects like Pentax that are bringing cameras that are aimed for people that are coming into the industry brand new and they want to learn and they want to explore the versatility and the beauty of film, but they want something new, which, yes, it is not a cheap entry-level camera, but I believe that it's a camera that will pave the way for newer models to come in. It's a product that expresses the need in the film photography market for new manufactured cameras, yeah? And we need not only zone focusing point and shoot cameras, we need premium compact cameras, we need SLR cameras. Us analog film photographers would like to see a reiteration of the Pentax K1000 or the legendary Pentax 6.7, you know, everybody will love to see this, but those are compromises that companies have to make to then be able to produce bigger and better cameras, because they have to rehire technicians, they have to invest in new technologies that once were basically the mainstream, the main volume of cameras in the world, but now have become a niche and a specialty, and obviously there's not as much equipment and technicians anymore. So all of this technology comes at a prime. I am super excited. I'm so looking forward to see not only how this camera performs in the market and how we adopt it, the people that have purchased it and the people that want to purchase it, but also how companies react to this move from Pentax. Will other companies like Canon or Nikon or any other Ricoh or any other players back in the day that were really big on film, will they come back? Will they produce a new compact film camera? Will they come out with an SLR? I don't know. I have no idea, but I'm super excited to see where does the analog film photography market goes to in the next 5 to 6 years. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning into this video, and I hope you enjoyed the brief tour of the Pentax 17. If you enjoyed this video, please give me your thumbs up, subscribe if you like my content, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.